Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the SITREP, what a summary for the day of 22 to 24 for the 28th to 30th of October for the Israeli-Hamas war. And this map, if you're wondering, you can actually access this map in the description below. So I do not want to go through too much into details that you may not be interested to talk about. For example, there's towns that was struck by the Hamas side. So some of the important notes is actually the Israeli ground offensive is still ongoing, and what they want to call it, ground raids, is not looking like raids anymore. It looks pretty much like a proper ground offensive, and it got quite deep as far as I am concerned. But before that, I want to just highlight some certain things. Water pipes has been opened for southern Gaza, probably due to international pressure. So this will at least elevate a bit of the humanitarian issues facing the Gaza Palestinians. And also there is this talk about possible prisoner exchange. According to Yahya Sinwar, the Hamas leader in the Gaza Strip, so they wanted to do, at least according to him, they want to do a all prisoner for all prisoner exchange. However, information coming from AOL, this is what under NBC. NBC News basically reveals a bit more information. Clearly, as I mentioned, always be careful of the information, because there is always nuances that is not revealed to you, because people only want you to know what they want you to know. So whatever you see on the internet is because someone wants you to see it. So just like this video, if I don't do this video, you probably will never see this video. So so the reason for the breakdown of negotiation. So clearly Israeli is not going to be friendly in these kind of negotiations. But according to the article, Israel is indeed considering the prisoner exchange. However, the breakdown of negotiation is due to Hamas talking about Israel allowing fewer deliveries to Gaza, but also declined to guarantee the release of all the captive, which is kind of not really an all prisoner for all prisoner. So there might be a possibility where within Hamas themselves, they may not have full contact or full control of all the different people or different cells of different group of their men in order to coordinate such a hostage exchange. That could also be a possibility, which is why they do not dare to just promise that they could. So anyway, in the ground offensive, as usual, the Israeli continue to bombard Gaza over the past 3 days. And there is some news. So we go from the northern front. The Israeli forces have basically entered from the coastline, and then they also entered through the Erez checkpoint, and they attacked Belhanos, and there's also a push to the northwestern part of Beit Lahia. So the problem does indeed came out with the Gaza or the Hamas troops appearing from the rear of positions as the Israeli forces have marched through, and they entered deeper into the territory. Hamas forces appear in their midst, and fighting occurs. Particularly, one is the one near the Erez checkpoint, and there's the push over in the coastal area was also getting bogged down, as the Hamas forces are starting to hold a pretty decent line, holding back the Israeli. So in the end, despite this fighting over the past 3 days, the Israeli did not go very far in terms of the northern front, as the Israelis are seemingly very cautious about their push ahead, and the Hamas forces are fighting back as whatever they could. They have, I think, RPGs and whatnot, so it is working out so far to hold back the Israelis. However, the Israelis did still capture Safat or Siafa in the basically the most edge of the northern western edge of the Gaza Strip. So that's currently happening. Ground offensive has started from the 26th all the way until now. Basically information coming from the IDF. Then there is also very interesting situation. The Israelis also attacking from other angles, where they are attacking into the northeastern side of Gaza City. Basically they call it the east of Zayton. So Zayton is over here, and so the reports of fighting on the east of Zayton neighborhood. Apparently some Israeli APC has actually went so far into the eastern part of Zayton. So it could be a case where the Israeli are pushing in this direction already, opening up a new front in this area here, in the northeastern part of Gaza City. And there's also geolocation. Now this footage by journalists showing a Israeli tank destroying a white color civilian vehicle. It's unknown if the civilian vehicle is really civilian or is it Hamas fighter driving a car, because Hamas don't really have a proper military per se. So they may not have a military vehicle, so they may also take civilian vehicles, but we do not know. So but the journalist basically freaked out, and the situation is geolocated at this area here. And as you can see, this geolocation is right in the middle, basically almost in the middle of Gaza Strip, far away from the front line that is currently developing over in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, which is interesting. And then we also have further information from previously about the fighting east of Burej, which means that the Israelis open up this central part, basically in the southern part of this so there's this river that the Israeli asked the Palestinians to actually withdraw southward from through. So this push here is basically the encirclement. This is the aim by the Israeli to actually push across all the way to the sea, I believe. And this is why we are seeing fighting over at this area here, and they are pushing on. And the aim is actually to reach this sea region, and then this will create a complete envelopment of the Gaza, northern Gaza, which is what the Israeli want. So let me use a different color. So this is the part. This is the part, something like this. This is the part where they want to do this encirclement. So the Israelis are now already pushing in this direction with this geolocation confirming the Israelis are there with the push in the north. If they are able to close up this area here, and then they will have a complete encirclement. And this also show and the fact that the river that the Israeli asked the Palestinians to cross in this direction and evacuate the north of Gaza might explain why this car over here got destroyed by the Israeli tank, because the warning for the civilians to withdraw to the south has basically expired. And basically to the Israeli, every living thing in the northern Gaza now is basically enemy, which is probably why they fired upon that car. I think that is the logic that the Israeli soldier or the tanker that fired upon the car might be thinking. So this is something to take note. I know that some people may not like it, but that is the entire idea behind the Israeli asking the civilians and giving them time to withdraw to the south. Then they can basically fire indiscriminately at everything that moves. So this is a very uncomfortable situation, I believe, for those that actually are supporting the Palestine situation, or they are or you are anti-Israel. So but anyway, this is the situation that's happening, and I believe they will cross all the way, and then they will secure this entire region here along the river, and then complete this envelopment of the northern Gaza. So this is the situation. And in the latest and there's also information of some fighting in the east of Khan Yunis on the 29th of October. And so there isn't a lot about here. It's just the information coming from Palestinian pro-Palestinian sources, saying that there is a sporadic clash about the Israelis trying to enter from this direction. So might be diversionary. If you ask me, like, this could be diversionary, as we can see that the push over here seems to be a lot more serious in the South Gaza city. So yeah, this might be a diversionary to force Hamas fighters to move over there. Like, even though honestly they have tunnels, that doesn't mean that it's easy to go through the tunnels and you can get from point A to point B quickly. So all these diversionary attacks can also stretch the Hamas forces. Like, they only have 40,000, according to popular estimates, is 40,000 troops. 40,000 to defend the entire Gaza Strip is actually very small. It's not enough. You need at least 200,000 troops, which the Israeli basically have around that number surrounding Gaza. And there is latest information that come out just about today, just a few hours ago. The Qassam Brigade also released information. Basically, the Hamas military say that there is Israeli forces trying to penetrate in the South Gaza axis, and they actually clash with them. So it's unclear where exactly did they mean by south. So I can tentatively I marked it in this direction. So I believe this is also not a serious push. It's probably similar as the situation over in the eastern part of Khan Yunis, which is just diversionary. As we probably should know by now, of this crossing, like I said, they want the civilians to push south. So this northern part of Gaza Strip is the primary objective of the Israeli. And I think the information previously about this is still not offensive. This is just this is not ground offensive. There will be a bigger ground offensive. I think this is just not true. It feels like it's not true, because as far as I'm concerned, this looks pretty huge. So yeah, if this is called raid, I don't know what a ground offensive looks like. So this is just an important thing to note. And the Israeli are not just attacking from the ground. They also still continue to have air support for these ground forces, including the Navy. The navies are also shooting from the sea towards targets on the shoreline. So it's interesting how the Israelis still are able to break through pretty far from the northern area here. It looks like the Hamas forces are really prepared for them in this area here, which probably explain the drive-by that we see on the 26th of October. And on top of that, there is also some kind of location or geolocation. According to the IDF, they say that they identified Hamas forces with an anti-tank missile launching post in the area of the Al-Aqsa University. So, and then they use a fighter jet to bomb it. So the Al-Aqsa University is around this area, these two cluster, these two lots, and this is actually pretty far. I'm not sure how the Israeli able to have troops to identify the Hamas troops, which is why I actually marked it, which means that the Israeli might be pretty close in this area here to allow them to actually identify this. But maybe they use drone, I'm not sure. But it is very interesting, because yeah, it still seems pretty far from the front line. So and then yeah, so this is the situation over in Gaza. The Hamas forces continue to do bombardments of the area around the Gaza Strip against Israeli forces over at Zikim, Makiev, Erez, over at Shijaya, east of Shijaya, basically where the Israeli forces entered in, and also at Nahal Oz. Yeah, and multiple positions in Nirim, at this area is called Sufa, as well as Riem military base. Basically, you can kind of see the pattern where the Israeli have gathered their forces. You can see that they are here. Another force is around this area here near Sderot. There's another force around here, and furthermore, there's another force that seems to be around here. So as you can see, this kind of makes sense. If you look at this, I use a different color. So there's one force here, one force here. There's another force here. there's another force here. So this actually kind of corroborates the vector of attack that we are seeing now in the north, and then through this area in the eastern part of Gaza, in the southern part of Gaza, and then there is this probing attack that we're seeing over at the east of Khan Yunis and south of Rafah. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will cover the rest of the issues in the Lebanon issue, and of course in the greater Levant, where the Americans are still getting hit, in a separate video. So so this video don't get overly long. Thank you for watching. And if you don't see those videos, then you have to maybe join the YouTube membership or Patreon or whatnot to get exclusive videos, because there is a limit how many videos I can post on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.